What does a cute cat and a toilet have in common? Let's have a chat with self-taught indie game developer Kate Shenton. No one mentioned death row. You just had to take it there.
I always take it to death row.
What is your favourite retro game?
My favourite retro game, and probably my favourite game of all time, which I am currently replaying because every 5 years I have to kind of replay it, is Ocarina of Time. It is the first game that got me into gaming, because it was that and Pokemon Red and Blue that got me into gaming. But I think that moment in Ocarina of Time when you go onto that field for the first time, when you go onto Hyrule Field, I think every time I play a game, I'm just trying to recreate that feeling.
I want to talk about your game, Itty Bitty Toilet Kitty.
Yes.
I love it. Firstly, why the title? Because I'm curious.
I mean, it sums up the game. It's an itty bitty toilet kitty. It's set in a toilet. I mean, it's really stupid. It's not the most highbrow thing I've ever created, I'm going to be honest. It's set around a toilet. It is a cat that is protecting their owner from toilet monsters, but of course you end up starting to learn more about the toilet monsters, and are they really monsters? What's going on? Because naturally I had to bring lore into it and get a bit carried away. But yeah, it's just a really silly game, so it needed a silly title.
But it works because it's definitely one of those things you see on Steam, you're like, huh? What? And you want to click it, and I think that works really well.
I had not ever opened a game engine, I had never made a game, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I was very intimidated by the coders. I used to think they were dark, magical magician. Then 2024 happened and I was out of work, like many people in the games industry at the moment, and I needed to do something to not go crazy, and I was like, well, I can upskill, so maybe I will open a games engine and try and figure out what it is. I tried Game Maker first and couldn't get my head around it at all. Then I opened Unity, and basically I did one Unity tutorial where the guy was like, do not open Unity until you have watched this 3-hour tutorial. And then I saw a game engine called GDevelop that was recommended to me.
GDev, yeah, I love that.
So I did it in GDev. No, I'm a big fan of GDevelop. I think if you're making 2D games, and particularly if they've got that retro feel, I don't think you need anything else unless you are really wanting to do maximum optimization, or you're going absolutely Breath of the Wild, huge. I don't think you need much more than GDevelop. It's a real nice little platform, and it's very intuitive as well.
Level 3.
Okay, so I know you're a writer as well as a game dev, so what kind of creative tools do you use on a daily basis? Speaking of creative tools, Beyond the Pixels has teamed up with Blackmagic Design for this season's podcast, where they've given us free DaVinci Resolve Studio licenses to give away to lucky viewers of this podcast completely free. Now here's how you can enter to win one of those studio licenses. And seriously, it takes less than 30 seconds. Firstly, like this video. Second, subscribe to this channel. Lastly, leave a comment on this episode as well as other episodes from this season. Just share your favourite moment, insight or guest story that resonated with you. Now the more episodes you engage with, the better your chances. And trust me, there's some epic stuff coming. So what are you waiting for?
For my pixel art, I've been using Pixel Studio. So I know other people use the other one, the one that begins with A that my dyslexia is just...
AE Sprites.
Yeah, I could not get into that at all. I just... Sometimes there's softwares that everyone uses and you just go on and you're like, I don't like this. So I specifically use Procreate because with my MS I actually have a dodgy finger, ironically this finger. where I can't put too much pressure on it, otherwise it sends like pains at my arms. Which can be annoying when you need to hold a pencil. Final Draft, obviously, but also like Klex is really good if you don't want to spend money on Final Draft, or Fade In as well.
Alright, lifestyle question. How do you, if there's such a thing, how do you balance between work, life?
I'm currently living in the middle of nowhere countryside at my parents', and nothing happens here. Unless you want to have a party with a cow, you... You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? Daisy is in that field and she's ready for a rave.
Daisy the raving cow.
Daisy the raving cow. She's like... So, yeah, there's not a lot going on. So really it's not difficult to balance anything, because it's just like, well, I'm making stuff and working on things not to go crazy.
You have the choice of one meal to have. And it can be anything, be just that one meal. What would that be?
Staffordshire oatcake. And I want to make this very clear. This is not a Scottish oatcake. This is a Staffordshire oatcake. They are two very different things. A Staffordshire oatcake is not a biscuit. It is a culinary extravaganza of excellence. And I thought long and hard about what my death row meal would be. And, because you know...
No one mentioned death row. You just had to take it there.
I always take it to death row. No, but have you not thought about what your death row meal is?
I'm still trying to avoid getting to death row in the first place.
We all try and avoid it. I'm sure the people on death row have tried to avoid it.
That's a very good point.
No, but sometimes life just throws you lemons.
What advice would you give anyone who wants to start a career in making their own indie game like you did? What would be some tips you would offer someone?
I mean, I'm kind of still at the stage where I need all the advice as well, because I'm very new to all of this myself. I think it's really important to network, both online and offline. Like, just don't be shy about it. Like, even if it's your first game, like, just shout and annoy everybody about it. Like, because that's the only way things are going to get moving forward. I think don't bite off something too big. Try and keep, because whatever you think is small is actually going to be bigger. Whatever you think you're making is going to end up being bigger than you thought it was going to be.
So I just want to say thank you so much, Kate, for doing this. You made it to the end. Woo! You made it to the end of this game.
Yes!
Brilliant.
Yes,
All right,
I'm going to put that on my CV.
And I'm afraid that's all we got time for in this episode. But if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. And also, check out Kate's awesome game. So the links are down below in the description. Until then, stay safe. See you in the next one.